Hello and welcome back to the Hayley Osborne Show. It's been a minute. Happy New Year. I hope that 2024, the start of 2024, has been amazing for you. We are back working the podcast and ready to have an absolutely epic 2024. The plans are looking good to keep you learning and upskilling as a business owner in the zone of genius of marketing, social media, all things entrepreneurship and business owner-ish things, and everything in between. We're kicking off this season of the podcast, which is season 3, actually, with episode 94. So I am teetering on the edge of 100 episodes, which is pretty cool. And I'm pretty excited to be back in your ears. I've had a really long break, which was definitely needed. So my cylinders are firing and ready to go for this year. So today, without further ado, I really wanted to discuss lessons learned in 2023 and a love letter for 2024, for myself and also for you, so you can know what's in the cards for me. And also, if you haven't started looking at your goals yet, which is understandable if you've got kids that have been on school holidays and if you've just taken some time out to just, refuel your cup, you haven't done any of that yet, and that's cool too. So let's get straight into it because I want to talk about the 2023 lessons learnt and what I'm taking into 2024, and a little love letter, which is with my goals and things I'm doing this year. I thought this was a really nice episode to kick things off for the new season. So I wanted to start with keep working towards your goals. Because here's the thing, and this is a lesson for me: consistency builds momentum, and momentum, little by little, helps you achieve your goals. And, consistency trumps tough times. So even if you are going through like the peaks and troughs of what it is like to run a business, consistency will always trump everything. And so that's something that is super important that remember to maintain, because what goes down must come up, and, all of those things. So every year I set goals, I write them down in 2 sections, personal and business. And also, just to digress, these episodes are now fully recorded. So they will all be on YouTube. And so if you are on YouTube and you prefer YouTube, you can go and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see the recordings and see me uh, in the flesh being recorded, which is cool. I love that. And it's a really great way to create big content, which I'm going to talk about in another episode. Anyway, so every year I set goals and I write them down in 2 sections, personal and business. It's a great thing to really do to stay accountable, look back to see just how far you've come. So looking back at my personal goals for 2023, I counted and I set 13 of them. I rereaded them just before and I achieved 11. 11. That's pretty good. That's more than 50%. And I'm really proud of that. So the power of setting personal goals is incredible. And as for my business, I set 11 goals and I achieved 8, which is still more than 50%, which I'm super proud of too. And I consider this as a really big win. They're big goals. And I did all of this with 2 small children in tow, which are mostly in my care. They don't go to childcare. We do have help from family, but mostly they're with me. Yes, I work at night, some nights, and yes, I do work a few days during the week when I have help. But otherwise, I'm creating a gorgeous blend, which is working and seeing me grow my business at the same time, which I love. And this is such a big win. And I'm going to talk about in next week's episode how I do that and how I plan out to have an epic week in my business. So we can talk about that in another episode, but I consider this to be pretty awesome. The second dot point I want to make for lessons learned in 2023 for me is just because someone else is doing it, and this could be anything, right? Across a broad spectrum of business and personal, it does not mean it's the right fit for me or the right thing for me to do. And I need to and have gotten really comfortable running to the beat of my own drum. It feels really good. I have made quick decisions which have uh, not hampered my progress, right? I haven't sat with things for too long, and I didn't do that. And yes, it's a lesson that I want to take into 2024 to just keep moving, because when you keep moving, you keep winning, right? Yes, you go through those times, but you do keep winning. So you need to have gotten comfortable running to the beat of my own drum. And I would like that if there's one thing that you take away from this episode, that do that too, right? My life is not someone else's life, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. My season is not someone else's season. I am doing things differently. It's that simple. The third dot point is this is a big one too, is don't worry what anyone else thinks about you. Huge. It is a lot harder to do, or it's a lot harder to do than it is to say, but the man in the mirror is the most important person. If it's your family and your close friends that are your main concern and you're worried about being judged by them, huge mic drop here. I want you to remember this, it's more than likely that they're not your target market. So you need to get over yourself to be able to move forward. Who cares what they think? Smile and wave and keep working towards your goals, because I guarantee you, your family and friends are not your target market. So it does not matter what they think. Okay? I repeat, repeat, repeat. It doesn't matter what they think, because they're not your clients. That's a huge one, because it is hard not to worry about what the most important people in your life think about what you're doing in your business. But you need to move through it and get comfortable with that, because the man in the mirror is the most important person, which is you. And the fourth dot point of my lessons learned in 2023 is, this is quite a big one for me. I wanted to launch a short course, but last year it just didn't happen. And the reason for this, I think, is because I was spending a lot of time learning, reading, and educating myself to the hilt. Now, don't get me wrong, I love reading, and I've got a list to get through already this year that I really want to read, but I think it partially crippled me in terms of activating that time that I had, that very precious time, because don't forget, I have two small children that are both under 3. I could have been creating this course, but I was doing these things. So I won't be doing that this year. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about creating before I'm consuming, as this is a must. And I stand really firm on this, is that you really need to create yourself before you consume anything on social media. And I'm talking about getting the big tick things done before all of that. 2024 is the year for that, and it's marked in my calendar. I can see it over there on my whiteboard. I know exactly when I'm launching everything, and I'll take you through that in my love letter, but for 2024. But that is something that I'm not disappointed in myself for it, because I do set really big, audacious goals, and that's okay. And that's for me, because I always like to be moving forward. But I looked back and I was like, damn it, I just didn't get that over the line. And I'm okay with that. But I've recognized that, and I will do things differently moving forward. And, to create and ideate and come up with new things, you really need to be in that mindset. When you have the motivation, you might not necessarily, sorry, when you have the motivation and the inspiration, you might not necessarily have the time. So it's how you figure that out. And I've got tools in which I use to be able to record and remember things when I have the most inspiration, because then when I have the time to activate, I might not be inspired. And it's like a little chicken and egg. So I'm going to go through that in another episode too. There's so many things I want to talk to you about. And I'm just so excited to like kick this year off. I can't believe we're in season 3. But I really do hope that you have done a bit of a recce on 2023, what worked, what didn't work, and like what that looks like for you in terms of lessons learnt as you have wrapped up 2023 and you move into 2024. Look, the sun goes up and the sun goes down. It doesn't matter. And whoever, way back when decided on this timestamp of years, look, it kind of, not that it means nothing, but it's a really nice way to compartmentalize the way your business works. And so that's why it's nice to do the recce and then move on to 2024 and make sure that you're really intentional about how you go about doing your day-to-day things that are going to set you up to achieve those bigger goals that you have for this year. So, on to section 2 of what I wanted to talk to you about in this week's podcast, my love letter for 2024. So, what is happening? What is happening in my world? Now, you may or may not have seen this or not in my stories on Instagram or the posts that I have on my social media, but I am in the process of building a new website. And oh my freaking God, it looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm really excited. So, in conjunction with this first episode going live for the podcast, there's new artwork, which will have new photos, and it looks so nice. And so that will coincide with the website. Obviously, the artwork will come out the day the episode airs. So that will be the 23rd of January, will be the first episode. So it's looking great. And what will be attached to the website is also a shop. So there's a lot of things that I've built over the last even 15 years of my corporate life, and especially the last 6 years of running this business. And I was just thinking, how can I make this more accessible? So if you are not inside Superhero Marketing, which is my signature membership, and if you are not a private coaching client of mine, and, if you have not had a social media strategy, a marketing strategy, or, a VIP day with me, how can you access this stuff? So that will be in the shop, and there's business bundles and there's everything. So that's pretty exciting. And I'm really like, this is the first time I would have done this. So it's all going to be like going off with a bang. Then the second part of my love letter for 2024 is I will be doing 2 very big launches of my signature membership, Superhero Marketing. And the very first launch date will be the 27th of February. So that's when doors open to the membership for the first time this year. So you can join the waitlist now if you have been thinking about it. There's some great bonuses to be had if you join the waitlist and you join via the waitlist. You can do that over on my website now, which is hayleyosborne.com. So if this year is your year to really extract a digit, upskill yourself, and really go all in with your marketing, then Superhero Marketing is the thing for you. Basically, the summary of this membership is to help you, the small business owner, create marketing strategies and activities that will help you have the biggest growth with the least amount of time and effort in your business. And I'm really proud of it. There's some awesome people inside the membership kicking great goals. Last year, I doubled the membership. So that is a huge win for me. And I haven't really spoken about that. But, there's a first for everything. And I might talk about that at some point. And so it is growing and it is exciting and there is great feedback. So this is awesome. Then I'll be doing 1 email list launch of the membership, which will be end of financial year. So if you're not on my email list too, you might want to join up and stay tuned for that. There is 1 launch of my new course. Oh la la. I'm excited about this one too. There's going to be obviously continuing to be weekly episodes of the Hayley Osborne Show, which will be released every Tuesday. And the next little part of my love letter is I'm working on a book. Yes, there's not too much to tell at this point. Apart from a few apart from a few a few meetings happening. There's a few little lovely holidays in there. I know this sounds like a lot, except I'm looking over now on my little calendar, except it's actually not when you have it fully planned. Now, I did spend a lot of time planning out the dates and everything and making sure that they are not coinciding with other things and school holidays and my personal time and birthdays and everything that goes in between. So I did a lot of planning towards the end of last year to make sure that everything is running like a smooth oiled machine in terms of dates. And, when it's all scheduled in, it doesn't feel so hard. There's plenty of social media strategies for new clients coming through, which is so awesome. Epic marketing strategies as well, because there is no better time to have a marketing strategy than at the beginning of the year. More private coaching with my one-on-one clients and VIP days, which is a vibe. And I'm so proud of this. So that's my little things that are happening this year. They're the big things. And so other small little love notes I wanted to give you and myself for 2024. And it's not so much of a repetition of 2023, but it's keep working towards your goals. Set them, work towards them, bite things off every week to achieve those things. If you say that you want to appear on 24 podcasts in 2024, how are you actually going to do that? You can't just have big audacious goals without having a plan on how to get there. That's something I actually took the members inside the membership through on the 10th of January. We talked about how to actually achieve that, what to do, how to approach podcast hosts to appear as a guest, what to say. I went through scripts, how to research what are the best podcasts to pitch to. So, those big goals of building your brand awareness from a top of funnel approach, they can be broken down really easily. The next little point of love letter is don't worry about what anyone else thinks about you. This can be the most crippling thing, but just who cares what other people think? When you are true to yourself, you will shine like the bright star that you are meant to. The next point is I want to be telling more of my story, right? So not just the upskill, the education, and my zone of genius. Yes, I want to share that too, but more of my story, right? This is my superpower. Okay. My story is my superpower, and I'm going to sing it loud and proud. Okay. And it's yours too. So if you're thinking when you're listening to this, oh no, Hayley, I don't have a story that's worth sharing. I don't know if anyone will want to listen to it. Well, I can guarantee you that they do. And that is my absolute passion to be able to help you uncover what that superpower looks like and how to actually share it with your audience so that they can see you shine bright. The next point is keep reminding myself that being uncomfortable is part of the process. So when you're feeling like things are hard, when you're feeling like it's difficult, that is part of running a business, and that is when you are growing. If things become really easy, maybe you need to shake things up a little bit. But being uncomfortable is part of the process. It is hard. There are days when I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know how I can do this. I don't know how I am able to juggle everything. This doesn't feel good. I might have a few tears. It's so hard. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But it's also very, very dynamic, amazing. The amount of impact that I am able to have running this business on business owners, small business owners, and people, humans, is incredible. And I'm so proud of that. And that feels uncomfortable when you're doing the work, but it's really great on the other side. I wanted to say as well, I saw this quote the other day and I loved it. If you want to shine in front of everybody, you have to work in front of nobody. And that is something that I love, absolutely love. So I'll read that again. If you want to shine in front of everybody, you have to work in front of nobody. Okay. You have to put in the work. Success and work come hand in hand, unfortunately and fortunately. So those that you see that are shining bright work very, very hard. They're not sitting on a beach working 5 hours a week. I can guarantee you. The next thing I want to say is I've made some really big decisions already this year in terms of how I spend my time. So we're 20 or so days into the new year. So it's been hard to be able to make the decisions that I've made, but it actually feels really good in the meantime. Okay. So I've made some big decisions and it might be a few steps back to move forward. So trusting my gut more than ever is at the forefront of my mind for 2024. And there's a couple of lasting points that I want to leave you with that I think are super important. So successful women aren't born, they're created. Okay. They're created by you. They're created by you being consistent, by you maintaining that momentum, by you continuing to show up. That's how they're created. And if you're struggling to do that, then put your hand up and get some help from a coach, a mentor. Look at those people that you admire that are doing what you do and watch them carefully. Okay. Successful women aren't born, they're created. And every single person that you see that embodies what success means to you, that are doing it, they have created that for themselves. And the last thing that I want to say as a little love note to myself and for you that might help you is moving into 2024, I want to make decisions faster, which means acting on things much faster, replying to when I've got that bucket of time to email, to go into my inbox, sorting it out then and there straight away. They're always going to be done in the afternoon. So I do the work in the morning that will help move the needle in my business. And then in the afternoon, I respond to the admin stuff. So making decisions fast. So there's a couple of things that I have made very fast decisions on so far this year that are going to smash me out the ballpark, which I'm really excited about. And I haven't sat on them, you know, in your gut when it feels right. So the faster you make decisions and move through things, the better it is. Then you can move on to the next thing. And that, my lovely, awesome people, is my little love letter for 2024. And the lessons learned in 2023, episode 94 of the podcast, the very first episode for season 3 for 2024. I'm teetering on the edge of 100 episodes. So I've worked out what I'm going to do there and I'm pretty excited. So on that, I got to go and keep smashing my goals today. I've got some free time and have the best week. And I will see you next week for another episode of the Hayley Osborne Show.